Hello. Oh my god, my throat is dying. Um, Hello everybody. Hope you're doing well today. So today we will be doing some inking. I recently, well, not recently. Has been a bit, but I've run the first session of our IRL campaign, the real life campaign, the one happening in real life in Meat Space. Hello Caustic, sup sore throat man, I am in the same boat. Oh no. I have afflicted you with the sore throat curse. Ah man, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. But today, we will be doing some traditional inking. Yes, with pens and paper, and it's nuts. Like I won't be using anything digital. Actually, that's a lie. I'm making them into character sheets, so I'm probably gonna scan them in afterwards and then make them digital. Oh no, everybody has sore throats. Hello, Hugo. I'm sorry to hear that you also have a sore throat. But the impetus for doing this, let me switch screens here, is this, Morkborg custom sheets, and also the Black Pudding, custom OSE sheets, BX sheets, where James V. West makes these amazing looking OSR character sheets. I saw that Castle Grief also did the same thing, and I was like, you know, for my campaign, I was thinking, why not just make some custom character sheets? One is Chance, two is Pattern, three is an Epidemic. I sure hope not. So I have sketched out some stuff based off me asking my characters what their me asking my players what their characters look like. So I'm gonna switch over to the analog camera. There you go. Oh, that's my earpiece. I should probably put both earpieces in. Okay. No, actually no. Having both earpieces in is like I can't hear myself, and that's weird. That's super strange. So I've done a bit of a sketch, as you can see. For the second one that I intend to do today, I haven't really done anything yet. But if you can't really see this very clearly, that's completely fine, because I'm gonna ink this out with a paint pen, and you're not gonna be able to see it as clearly as this, since this is pencil. That's it. I am going to try to... Man, I'm speaking louder because I can hear the music blasting in my ear. I'm gonna lower it on my side. That's it. I'm going to try to activate the torch on my camera. Let me try that. Oh man, it just hit me in the eye. Okay, I'm gonna lower my camera now. And hopefully that will give you a better view of like what's happening here. Yeah, I hope that's zoomed in enough. I can try to zoom in even more. I think that's good. I think that should be good. You guys can kind of see what's going on here, right? So this is Hatchet, the barbarian, wielding a hatchet. This is one of the player characters. And yeah, I was just going to start inking. The first step is always the most intimidating for me, especially if I drew out a, you know, a full like sketch. I don't want to ruin it with my awful inking skills. But, you know, I'm gonna try my best. So I'm gonna start off with yeah, I was thinking of starting off with a Posca, but I think I'll start off with marker instead. This is like a felt tip brush pen. So I'm gonna try... I haven't really done analog inking in a while as well, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna just start doing it. I already feel like I'm messing up. Oh no! Okay, there we go. That actually looks okay. That's fine. I'm exaggerating here. For effect. Because I'm a YouTuber. Let's see here. Okay. That looks okay. That looks not bad. I'll probably be filling in the really like large areas of dark with Posca marker. But all the hatching I'm probably going to be doing with this. I don't even know what brand this is, to be honest with you. I just kind of picked it up at a stationery store. So I have no idea what brand this felt brush pen is. But it's kind of like just any other felt brush pen, I guess. kind of stiff, which is okay. I don't really like the really flowy Pentel brush pens because I have shaky hands. So it's a skill issue. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of using those, except for certain scenarios where I want to get the dry brush effect, then I'll bust those out. I have them next to me actually. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep inking and we'll talk a little bit, we might talk a little bit about like how the session went. I think it went pretty good. The only problem was, oh my god, my sore throat is haunting me. The only real problem was that I was kind of still ill around that time, right? Which was bad because the start was good, but then I got so ill that I had to lie down essentially. And that was I felt kinda bad about that. They were really nice about it, obviously. My players are really, really, really nice people. But I felt a little bit bad about that. We continued on a bit afterwards. But the good thing about that is that it actually clued me in a little bit as to why I had energy problems in the first place. And I should probably mention why. So it seems to me that the energy problems are from the diet that I was having. Essentially, I wasn't eating with enough frequency. So now what I do is I have changed it so that I eat essentially every 3 hours I'll eat. And that has helped immensely, that has paid massive dividends. It has caused it so that I don't have any more, well, I still have brain fog, but I don't have as much of it anymore. And it also allows me to do a lot more things. So I feel a lot better recently. And I've been getting a lot more stuff done recently as well. So that's good. Other than that, I've been doing a lot of writing, I've been doing a lot of reading. I recently got a Christmas gift from my buddy who's also a player in this game. And that is this book. I got one for myself as well. Chronicles of the Black Company. And that book is amazing, it's really, really fun. I really like it. It's kind of reads like a military journal almost. There's a lot of tactics involved and stuff like that. So I really enjoy reading that book. I'm listening to it via audiobook while reading it, which I know some people find infuriating, but I find it quite immersive myself. I got some quality inking brushes a few months ago, but my cat nibbled on the hairs, and I didn't even notice until it was too late. So now I have expensive chopsticks. Yeah, brushes are really good. What I used to use was like fountain pens, and I'll use these what do they call them? Fude tip fountain pens, where you can angle it. Your angling of the brush allows you to get a thicker or thinner stroke, and I really like those a lot. But I kind of didn't like the upkeep that I had to do for a fountain pen. I kind of just wanted to grab something and go. So eventually I stopped using them as much, but for a while there I was using almost exclusively like fountain pens. And it was really, really quite fun. Which book was it? I zoned out. Oh, it's The Black Company by Glenn Cook. It's really, really good. I feel like I was like, this feels more like a war journal kind of thing, like a modern, like it felt like a more grounded, realistic take on fantasy than most stuff I've read. So I did some research into the author, and apparently he's a veteran. Like I think he didn't serve in the Vietnam War, but he had a lot of friends who did. So that probably played into it a little bit. Yeah, it's fantastic. I've actually been doing some fan art of it over on Twitter, and I am really enjoying my time reading the book. I am told that the first book is the worst one out of like the first 3 books, which is the ones that constitute the first story arc. So I'm very excited actually. If that stuff is the worst, so to speak, I think I'm in for a treat. Because I think what I'm reading right now is like fantastic. And if it just gets better from there, then that's fine by me. Okay. So as for the session itself, like I said, I got a little bit ill midway through the session, but they did escape the sewers, and then they tried to essentially rob a jewel merchant, because the jewel merchant had one of their one of the player characters had an automaton called Jerry, and they tried to basically spring Jerry out of the cage that he was in, because he was bought by this jeweler merchant kind of guy. And yeah, it was a really interesting start to the campaign. I just wish that I was a little more cogent, or I was a little more, I was a little more lucid during that entire thing, because I feel like I wasn't doing the best that I could. But at least it alerted me to the fact that I wasn't eating properly. Because like, what happened was during the session itself, they were like, you should really eat something. And I was like, yeah, I should. So I ate a Snickers bar, which I don't usually eat chocolate. I think the last time I had a Snickers bar before then was like, can't even remember. But I felt instantly better. Then I started like analyzing my diet and like when I'm eating and stuff like that. And I realized that I should just try eating every 3 hours or so, because that's what some people recommend, and it worked stupendously for me, so I feel a lot better now just in general. I read the first trilogy, I think, and then stopped. Found it a bit exhausting to read later on. I'm planning to read the first trilogy, then I'm planning on reading Malazan, which I heard was inspired by the Black Company. But yeah, I hear that like it tends to drag later on in the later series in the Black Company. So I'm just reading the first trilogy, and if I still like it a lot, then I might keep going, but we'll see. There we go. So this is one of the, like I was mentioning earlier, this is one of the characters. They're a barbarian called Hatchet. All of the player characters are human. This is something I decided on because I decided I wanted to make a human-centric campaign. That might change as they either die, or they might, get new companions, or whatever else the case might be. But for now, it's just humans to start with. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm gonna give a bit of light there. Just differentiating the arm and the body. I'm currently reading Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Billman. I like it even more than Between Two Fires. Really? I really like Between Two Fires. I have my copy like over there somewhere, and I really enjoy it a lot. If you like it even more than Between Two Fires, then I really must give it a read. Yeah, I really liked Billman's prose in Between Two Fires. It felt, how do I say this? It felt very modern, but in a good way. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it well. I also don't read as many books as I would like. I'm trying to make it into a more of a habit. So I've been reading, I was reading The Brothers Grossbart, but like I got very ill halfway through, and I couldn't really complete it. So now I'm jumping back to the Black Company, and this one I'm intent on finishing up. I'm very much focused on actually reading through the Black Company this time through. I'm just reading it from the start. Actually stopped off around a few hundred pages in, I think. I love the dry humor in Between Two Fires a lot. Yeah, Between Two Fires I think had a lot of very nice dry humor, and I think that same dry humor, not the same kind of dry humor, but there's a lot of dry humor in the Black Company as well. But it's more like the kind of yeah, I hate to use the soldier comparison constantly, but it's kind of like what you would expect the humor of a veteran soldier to be, I guess. It feels like that, and I think that was what Glenn was going for. I mean, I'm just guessing, but feels very grounded, very real, and I really enjoy it. And I also like the prose a lot. I like the opening of it as well, which was like something like, there were omens and portents enough, One Eye said. His handicap in no way impaired his marvelous hindsight. I really like very crunchy kind of like prose like that. Stuff you can really get your teeth into, you know? Enjoy that quite a bit. Okay. I think we're just gonna like dot this part out, just like differentiate it from the background there, and then we're gonna like color that part in with a Posca marker, I think. I'm not gonna use this the whole way through. I'm just using this for the large area, like, sorry, for the smaller areas and for the hatching. It's been a while since I done any like traditional inking, but I do enjoy it quite a bit. And it's been even longer since I use a brush pen, but I also do enjoy that quite a bit as well. By the way, if you guys are looking for recommendation on brush pens, a lot of people recommend the Pentel Pocket Brush Pen, but I actually would not recommend that. I would recommend they have a different set of brush pens which are more elongated and have a transparent tube. I'll recommend those instead, because I find I get much more control over those bristles than I do with the pocket brush pen. And because it's like much longer, it allows me to have more control over it as well. So just something to consider if you're thinking of getting a brush pen. Let's see here. I'm gonna just hatch this part out, like so. Okay. I think that part is good to go. I usually ink a lot faster than the speed I'm doing right now, but I really want to make something nice to be able to give to my player, and I don't want to have that many mistakes, which is why normally what I will do for this kind of like ink drawing is I'll have a very rough sketch. Even for like commission pieces, I will have a very rough sketch, and then I'll just like riff off that, and I'll have fun with the inking that way. This one is a little bit different in that I want the final piece to be something I can hand over to my player, and that they will appreciate. So I'm trying to be a lot more careful and a lot more intentional in my inking for this one. I've also been doing a lot of prep work for the rest of the campaign. I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but let's just say that I might have over-prepped a little bit. I have... How many hexes do I have filled out at this point? I wanted it so that like they could really go anywhere and do anything, but there's a lot of detail in all the areas. But I also wanted it so that I wasn't like spending all my time on it. So I had some of the hexes be entire modules that I read beforehand. So there's about 30 hexes around the map, and that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of stuff. And I said I was going to fill this with a Posca marker, but I think this part is going to be filled. I think some of these parts I do want to like kind of fill in manually, because these are like a bit closer to the light, but that part down there, that can be completely dark. Who knows, I might just lie and just do everything with this brush pen. I don't know if it has enough ink actually. This brush pen is like a year old. We'll see. I find doing this very therapeutic. I should really do a lot more traditional inking. Okay. You notice I didn't start with the face because I want to get enough confidence with my line strokes in order to get to the face, which is usually inverse of how I normally go about it. I normally start with the face, but like I said, I'm kind of going for something a little bit different today. And I really do want to make sure that this piece turns out good. I do have like some white fine liners in case I make a mistake, which hopefully will not happen. For the next drawing, I'm doing 2 drawings today. The next one might have some mistakes because I have a much looser sketch. But for this one, I'm hoping that there are no huge mistakes, let's say. I'm fine with like a mistake here and there, but not anything huge. Did you read the Name of the Wind? If you like that, there is a spin-off from the POV of a side character, reads more like poetry even though it's prose, really puts the reader in their heads. I've not read that. I don't know that much about most fantasy series, to be honest. Like I said, I'm trying to read more. But the ones I have read are like Between Two Fires, The Brothers Grossbart, well, at least 90% of it. And that's really about it. I haven't really read a lot recently anyway. I've read a lot of fantasy when I was a kid, but that's a long time ago. I'm also thinking of getting back into reading manga, like Berserk and stuff. I think those can be, you know, people talk about like Appendix N and all that. I think in today's current like climate of constant and large amount of like media, you can choose from a lot of different kinds of stuff. Like you can have manga in your Appendix N, you can have fiction, you can have TV shows, movies, and I don't really video games, and I don't really like interact with all that as much as I would like to. So I'd like to like absorb more of that kind of stuff, you know. Well, I kind of like the effect that the paint marker gives on some of this stuff, because you can see the darkness of the paint marker even through the brush pen tip. So even though I colored this area completely dark with the brush pen, you can still see the paint marker coming through. The slow regard of silent things. Oh yeah, that does sound like good prose. I've also been trying to read Blood Meridian, but I'm having trouble with that one. I think I think like that one I kind of get stuck in places here and there, where I wouldn't completely understand what the author is trying to say, and I'll try to put too much thought into it, and then it will be very slow going. And maybe just because I haven't read enough fiction or books in general recently that I'm getting hung up on that kind of stuff, but you know. The description and covers really put me off of Name of the Wind for way too long. Magic Academy and all that, which is a shame. I really like the writing. Yeah, the Black Company covers, at least the more recent one, they don't look very good. But they had a more classic cover before their current covers, which looked insanely well done. I'm not sure why they... How do I put it? There's like this kind of... almost like 5e kind of like polished kind of art style, like the very digital art look, or like a very polished look. I can't really explain it better than that. I find that is in a lot of like fantasy covers nowadays, and I don't really like that. I don't really like that look personally. I tried Blood Meridian twice. It's rough. Yeah, I tried it twice so far as well. Having a hard time with it. So I decided Black Company is a really... It's not an easy read for me, but it is easy enough that I can actually listen to it via audiobook and still be able to absorb most of it. So I am kind of using that as my bridge between quote-unquote harder literature right now. I'm just not very well read, so I kind of just want to take it slowly, you know, just enjoy myself. I really enjoy the Black Companies, so I think like part of it is I don't want to just read the classics. I want to read stuff I know I will enjoy, and it's hard to be able to tell, because when I ask people like for book recommendations, they'll be like, well, what have you read and enjoyed? And it's like, the last time I really, you know, read a lot was when I was like in middle school. So I think part of that is just like, I just gotta read daily and then just find what I like and, you know, inform my own taste about it. And then I can start searching for stuff that, more niche stuff, I guess, that I'll enjoy. A lot of book covers are complete shit. Publishers don't even know the actual book. Well, it can be argued that like that was the case for a lot of Frazetta paintings as well, right? But it's like it's the inverse, where the cover is fantastic and it makes you want to read the book. At one point in his career, Frank Frazetta stopped getting commissions for specific books. They just say like draw whatever and we'll find a book to put it on. Because he was causing so many sales that he was kind of an exception. That's an interesting point. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm gonna hatch this out a little bit more. Like that. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. Just target group bullshit. Yeah, nothing against like the current, like, more polished art style. It's just not my thing at all. I mean, I think you can do it well though, like, that kind of polished looking art style, I think you can do it very well. I guess my main complaint is that people don't do it very well. I think you can still leave a lot of stuff to the imagination with a polished art style. It's just harder to do than with like a more classic, more evocative kind of look. And I think to give an example of that, I should show like the Black Company, the previous cover of it. Let me see if I can find it. Black Company cover. Chronicles of the Black Company, I think it was. Here we go, I found the cover. And it's in very low resolution, but I'll just zoom it in. But if you look at this, it's like, look at that. It looks so good. It's like, they kind of look like a robot underneath that, but it looks really good. Then you got the current cover, which is this, which I'm not as much a fan of. Where were we? Oh yeah. Let's fill this area out. Okay, that looks looking good. Can you tell I've been like looking at a lot of Frank Frazetta Inc. Stuff, like I've been also looking at a lot of like the Conan comics, the art style of those, and that's been kind of like influencing me recently. Okay. I don't usually ink this detailed, but it's been nice giving this kind of thing a try. I've been mostly doing it with my digital art, where I will try this kind of style. But I actually think it's a bit easier to do it with like analog tools, interestingly enough. I usually don't find that much of a difference in the difficulty of doing stuff like analog versus digital. But for inking in this kind of like very precise style, it's handy to be able to have this much control over the hatching. I think the hatching specifically, because when I'm using my Intuos or when I'm using something else, my iPad is like the closest thing I think I have to inking traditionally. And that's like pretty close. But when inking on my Intuos, it's a lot harder because I can't really see the screen. And I've tried inking on a Cintiq before, and that's really hard too. I think I've already made a mistake here actually. See if I can correct it. I don't think anybody else can see my mistake, but that's fine. Not too big of an issue. I'm gonna try to mask some of this out. Okay, there you go. Okay, nice. There you go. I'm gonna try to do every character in approximately this style. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the other characters yet, but I have a bit of an idea for the other character that we're doing today, the thief, Arkan. I have a very rough sketch of him, but nothing else. But I think for that character we can kind of wing it a bit more. For this particular character, I want a specific kind of like look to their musculature and to the hatching and all that, so did a bit more prep. But for that one, I think we can just wing it a bit. Do that. Okay, that's looking good. Need to remember that there's like a hair strand here. Then some of the hair comes down there. And this strap goes over like that. I need to remember all that. So I didn't really indicate it with my pencils. Okay. This is, I think, the most nerve-wracking part, drawing the face. It's also like probably one of the easier parts for me, but it's nerve-wracking nonetheless. Because I think all the personality kind of shows through here. And I think I might have to use a white nib to get some flecks of like hair coming out there. Not sure if I'll do that. We'll see. Okay, the shadow is all gonna be downwards. Directional shadows. Okay, there we go. Go like that. Nice. I think I did a decent enough job at that. I hope. I'm wondering if I should leave his eye in shadow or not. I think I decided to leave the eye in shadow, but now I'm having like second thoughts. But I think I'll just leave it in shadow. Because I want, I'm gonna be probably putting up the character sheets on my itch if I can. I'll request permission from my players first. But I want some of this to be a bit more, you know, like you can use it for another character. Like the thing is, I'm doing all this art and this custom character sheets for my players, right? But they could die in the next session. It's not impossible. They could just die. That's a thing that can definitely happen. So, so I kind of have to remind myself that some of this stuff has to be reusable. But you know. Okay, there we go. looking pretty good there, I'd say. I actually do like this this felt nib quite a bit. It's got quite a bit of control to it. I mean, most felt brush pens feel similar-ish, so yeah, I wonder what brand this is. Like I said, yeah, I can't read Japanese, so I don't know what the brand that is. Let's see. Okay, that's looking good, I think. Let's kind of have a bit of light come through there. And then I'm just gonna try to fill in some of this with the etching. But most of this stuff here, I'm gonna use the Posca marker for. It's just the lighter parts I want to use the brush pen. I think that's good to go. I'll start inking out the shadow underneath there. Okay. Looking good. Okay. I think I'm gonna actually like use the Posca marker until around there. Then the rest I'm gonna use a brush pen. Is that a good idea? Actually no, I'm just gonna use the Posca for the whole thing. I'm just gonna leave some flecks of like white in there, just to show that this part is getting a bit lighter. Just a little bit, you know. Okay, there we go. It's looking good. Let me just shade this up a bit as well. It's looking good. I think the thing is when I scan this in and when I do level adjustment, you won't be able to even see a lot of the subtleties in the ink. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind when I scan it in. Okay. It's looking good. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys were here from the start, which I don't know if you were, you might have seen that I now have an intro. For those of you watching the VOD, you would have definitely seen it, unless you skip forwards. That intro, the music, is made by me. I made the music. I also made the video for it, but that's not... that didn't take as long as the music did. I'm trying to get back into making Dungeon Synth music. Just, you know, having a variety of like creative hobbies I think is nice. I know like Caustic makes music as well. Hugo, do you make music as well? I'm not familiar if you do. Okay, let's go with that. Go like that, I think. Yeah, let's maybe put a bit of that there. I kind of want to show... I'm not sure if this is possible, but I want to show kind of the feeling of like leather almost on the buckle there. Buckle? The belt? Whatever this thing is. Okay. That's looking pretty good. I think I'll just like to talk about some YouTubers that I've been watching that I've been really enjoying recently. One of them is The Old Warlock. And they mainly cover AD&D. They are a father and son team, Alexander and Jim. In fact, I was so impressed by their videos that I became a patron. And that's not always the case for me. I actually canceled a bunch of other subscriptions to be their patron. I find their stuff immensely entertaining and very, very informative. They really know their stuff. They've been running a campaign for... Well, Jim has been running a campaign for about 40 years, I think. I did sing in a punk band for a very short while in my youth. There you go! There you go. We're all musicians here, apparently. Except me. I'm not comfortable calling myself a musician. Let's see here. I can see a mistake there in the penciling. I'm just gonna keep in mind, this part here is supposed to be in shadow. There's like some light here. This whole part here, shadow. I just gotta keep that in mind. I'll just kind of do that so that I remember. Then... I do sing in a metal band, yeah! We've talked about that before. And yeah, so Caustic, I'm getting back into making music. While trying my best to. Just having fun with it, you know? I used to make my dungeon synth in Reaper. And now I got FL Studio, so... I don't think I'll stream any of it because it's gonna be highly embarrassing for me, for anybody who watches, but, you know, maybe, I don't know. I might stream it. Just me messing about with it and not doing a very good job. I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's quite fun making like music and then kind of giving myself a pat on the back when I make something that sounds good, and then I listen to actual music and I'm like, oh, this sounds like trash. Like, as in my stuff sounds like trash compared to the actual music. My stuff sounds not so great when you put it against stuff that I normally listen to. But I think that's just the creative process, right? Like if you're gonna be a writer and then you start writing, you're gonna suck at first. It's normal. It's not like you should expect to be good in the first decade. So, you know. Yeah, I think that's looking good. I think my art is finally getting to the point where I am good at some parts of it, you know? Like, I think it's getting to the point where I don't really have imposter syndrome anymore and I can basically draw anything I want to draw. Like any style, any subject matter, anything I want to draw, I can draw it. I've gotten to that point at least. Not sure if that's super good or what, but like, that's the point I've gotten to at least. I've gotten to the point where I can, you know, kind of just draw anything I want, which is nice. For a second I thought this was a David Finch sketch. Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Welcome to the chat, Majdies. Reaper is okay if you have a decent setup. We use Reaper for our album mixing right now. Yeah, I was using Reaper for a while, but yeah, I didn't pay for it, so I was using the still evaluating screen thing, and I think I was like, at some point yesterday or the day before, I was like, I'm either gonna pay for Reaper or something else, and did some research, and I was like, I'll just go with FL Studio, because there's a bunch of tutorials and stuff for it, and I'll just, you know, just go with that. It's fine. So I bought that. Okay, I think that's good to go. Actually, David Finch has a lot of very good tutorials, by the way, guys. He has a YouTube channel, and he has a lot of very useful stuff. I've watched a bunch of videos from him. I don't normally do this kind of inking style, or sketch even in this kind of style, but yeah, if you want to learn how to do this kind of style, I think David Finch has a lot of very good tutorials on that. Okay. Where should we go from here? Kind of want to go for the armor there. I'm a bit scared some of this hasn't dried, but it should have dried. It should be okay. Just outline the hatchet. More of a war axe, but you know, hatchet. So that. Okay. Oh yeah, I've been really enjoying watching the old Warlock recently. I've also been binging a lot of Daniel Norton stuff from Bandit's Keep. Been recently watching a bunch of stuff from Hexed Press. Who else? Yeah, those are the main ones. I think the old Warlock is my new obsession for like YouTube channels. I've kind of been rewatching their stuff like a lot. I think I've rewatched some of their videos like 4 or 5 times. It's just relaxing. Just really enjoy it. And I really wanted to support them, so I became a patron because of that. But actually I didn't expect this, but they have a lot of additional videos on their Patreon as well, which was quite nice to find out. Let's see. I think for this part here, I'm going to... I don't think I'm going to use a postcard marker for this part. This part I am, though. Because I want this part to be a bit more more misty, maybe. In any case, this part here is not going to be using a postcard marker. I'm just going to go in like that. Okay. And do that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is like super relaxing for me. Analog inking always is. It can be a bit, at least when you start out, it can definitely be a bit frightening, knowing that you can't really fix your mistakes, which you can. I mean, you can use like a white marker or something, but for the very big mistakes, you can't really fix it. So it's definitely a little bit intimidating when you're starting out, but after you really get into it, it's almost freeing. It's freeing because you know that if you do make a mistake, you kind of just have to roll with it, and that allows you to make a lot more bold choices because you kind of have to. Do that. Okay, I think that is good. I'm gonna switch over to the armor here. I'm gonna etch some of the hair there a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go like this, I think. I'm gonna make it a bit less there and then a bit more towards this part, and I'm gonna have it be a bit more uneven. I'm gonna have like random like hatch marks here and there, and that's kind of like to simulate the chaotic texture of the armor. And I want it a bit more disorganized than the rest of the drawing is. I think that, yeah, I think like we could use a little bit more hatching there as well. Could use that. Let's do that. Looks cool. I'm not sure how I'm gonna indicate the hair up here. I might just do the shadows, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Like here is definitely okay, like this part here, I don't have to do any inking here. But the top part of the head, I'm not too sure. I might just do like very brief lines that are kind of like disconnected, like that. I'm not sure if that works, but I just did it, so can't take it back now. So I think that's good. I'll just try to make it work. I'm gonna switch to a Micron for the top part, actually. A very light Micron. And just do. There we go. That's good. Yeah, that looks fine. I think maybe we could make the hair a bit more flowy here. But that looks okay to me. Okay, cool. Let's do the rest of the figure here. And we might not do two of these today. I was thinking I wanted to do one more. As you can see, I started a face sketch there. But I think like just one is enough. How long have we been going? Almost an hour. So I think by the time we finish this up, it's going to have been an hour. So yeah, I think we'll do the next one. I might do it off camera, or we might do it another day. But the goal is I want to get all of these done by the time my players come around, which is next Sunday, so I have a bit of time to finish it up. Fine. Because I also have like some other art jobs and stuff like that to do, and some writing jobs, and I'm also gonna be giving some sort of presentation on some stuff, like a workshop kind of thing, which I can't really reveal the details of yet. But I'll be doing a workshop locally here in Singapore. I can't reveal too much of the details of that, but basically I've got like a full plate on, and I've kind of figured out like how or when I'm gonna do some of these sketches. I also realized that this is a tangential thing. I'm starting to realize that inking with analog makes me a lot more trepidatious, a lot more intimidated to speak while I ink. I'm fine with doing that with digital because, you know, you can always undo. But right now I'm starting to realize that I can't do that here, so I better not focus too much on my talking because I'm gonna fuck this up. Let's see. I think the rest can be used. I can use a Posca, so I'm just gonna fill that up like this. And then I'm gonna switch to a Posca marker. But it's gonna get darker from there. So I'm gonna switch to a Posca marker for the rest there. I'm gonna have to shake it a bit. And then press it down. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's looking good to me. I might have to go over some of the other areas with the Posca marker. But I'm seeing that some areas look a little bit too light now. Of course, like I said, a lot of that is gonna go away once I scan it in and once I adjust all the levels and all that, but... But yeah, I still want to like make this work as a piece on its own because, like I said, I'm gonna give it to the players. So I'm trying to think, how can I... kind of need to view this from above. Yeah, I think like here, like all the muscles around this area need to be emphasized using the Posca marker. Do that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And then around here, where there's kind of like what do you call it again? Ambient occlusion, where like the like it's so shadowy that even if it's lit omnidirectionally, it wouldn't go there. That area is like that. Okay. Okay, I think That's good, and that's like the hardest part. I think this part here is like the hardest part to get right. I think I'm going to actually do a bit more hatching here as well. I think there's not enough. Does that look okay? I'm not so sure about this part actually. I think might have to give it like a moment, like look at it a few hours later. I'm not so sure I'm happy about this part here, but I don't want to do anything to ruin it. So, I think what I'm gonna do, there is one thing that I think will improve it, which is like some cross hatching this side here. Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, I think like that helped it a bit. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there at the and then I'm gonna work on the rest of the hen right now, and then we're gonna call it. Let's see here. Yeah, there are some parts where I'm like starting to realize that I could do a bit longer hatching, but I think I'll leave that for later. For now, I need to like focus on this part here, which I don't know how I'm gonna hatch, because all of it has been like according to the form. But once a thing recedes into the background, I usually like to maintain more uniformity with the hatching. So it's either I could go downwards or I could do a diagonal. I think I'm gonna go for a diagonal here. So I'm gonna start to hatch with a diagonal like that. And slowly I'm gonna make it a bit more uniform as it starts to meet the bottom part there. And the reason I like to make it uniform is that you'll see a lot of time like people ask like, what direction do I hatch in? And it's always one of two things. The form direction or the lighting direction. Alright? So, yeah, I think if I do that, I want to do this as well. I realize I'm starting to run out of ink actually, which is good for this part. Because now I can actually just scratch at it. It's giving this very nice texture. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I'm gonna take a look in a second, but it's actually giving this very, very nice texture. That almost looks like a ballpoint pen. Yeah, you can see it, I think. Okay. This part's gonna be a bit tricky. Oh, I want to indicate the hand, but most of the hand is in shadow. That's gonna be a bit tricky. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast the whole hand in shadow. Is that a good idea? Well, I'm doing it. Fine. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works. So I'm just gonna follow the direction of the lighting here. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna actually... What I normally do at this point, which I can't do right now because I'm on stream, is I will actually like look at this flipped. I'll take a photo and I'll flip it, or I'll take it to a mirror or something. But I can't really do that at the moment, so... I mean, I could flip the camera preview, I guess. No, I'm not gonna do that, but once I turn off the stream, I'm gonna like I'm gonna try that, and then I'm gonna see whether I missed anything crucial. I don't think so though. I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks not too bad. I don't think I messed this one up too much. I think yeah. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty okay. I might even say good, maybe. That belly though is getting to me. I think I'm going to I don't want to make a rash decision here, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go for it. I think I'm going to actually hatch the entire belly out. And I don't know if this is gonna ruin everything or not, but sometimes you just gotta go for it. I think that worked. I think that actually did work. Nice. Okay, the last thing to do here is the axe. I'm just going to hint at the structure of it in very broad strokes. Haha, get it? Broad strokes? Because I'm using a brush pen. I hate... I'm so sorry. Okay, there we go. That looks good to me. I just gotta hatch out this part down here, and we are good to go. This looks nice. I am still so tempted to I still need to flip it, make sure I didn't miss anything crucial. But I can already see a few not mistakes, but parts where I can go a bit darker in the inking, which is like here. All the parts until like here, I think. Like that. Yeah, I'm actually going to also do that here as well. Like that. Yeah, and then... Okay, I'm not sure if this is gonna ruin it, but I'm gonna go there as well. And... there we go. Hope my player likes this. I hope my player likes this art that I did of their character. I think they will. But I'm going to import this into CSP. I'm gonna make a character sheet out of it, but I'm not gonna do that on the main artwork. I'll probably show it off the next time I go on stream, which I'm hoping will be soon. I'm hoping like there won't be a long break in the stream content, because recently I've decided to kind of take a break from a lot of my game stuff. So I've cancelled my online game until next year. So I kind of want to get some work done in the meantime. By taking a break, I get work done. You see how that works? But yeah. So I'm hoping I can stream a bit more in this interim. My real life campaign is happening, like I said, on Sunday, but all the online stuff, I cancelled it. Oh, I forgot the mustache hair there. There we go. That looks good to me. Oh my god, why is my toe hurting so much? Something happened. I knocked it against something. Okay, we're good. Good to go. Alright, I think we're done. Let me just real quick kind of like just do some outlining here and there, but I think in general we are done. Yeah, I am gonna end off the stream very soon, so thank you all for coming. Thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Caustic. Thank you, Majdiz. I think that's everybody for today. Appreciate you all coming by as usual. And I think the piece turned out good. I think I can erase some parts. I'll let it dry a bit more, but I think I can erase most of the parts there. Actually, this top part I can definitely erase, so I'm just gonna erase that part. Here, I'm always worried about like erasing ink. I'm scared to smudge it. I'm not sure which parts are more recent, but yeah, this seems fine. Okay. Okay, erase, erase, erase. Just being very light, trying not to disturb the ink in any way. But okay. But thank you guys so much for coming by. Like I said, I want to be able to stream. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow I have some stuff that I have to do, but sometime this week if possible. We will see. Oh no! I smudged it. Oh shit! Oh shit! I smudged it. Damn it! It was going so well. There were no mistakes, and then I smudged it. It's fine. I can cover it up. It's fine. Nobody knew. Nobody knows except us. Yeah, I think this is a good point to end off the stream. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching. And if you are watching on YouTube, thanks for coming by as well. Goodbye.